Come roll around in the muck with us as we check out Swamp Thing this week on the Why Is This a Cartoon Cast? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Why Is This Cartoon Cast, the only show on the internet where we take a look at animated adaptations and ask the essential question, why is this a cartoon? I'm your host, Joey. Joining me is Chris.
What's up?
And Tim.
Ahoy, ahoy.
And like I said, this week we're taking a look at Swamp Thing, the animated series from 1991. Super popular show at the time.
Well,
They got 5 whole episodes out before it was
it premiered
gutted.
on the pilot premiered on Halloween of 1990, when my dad was in the Persian Gulf fighting Saddam Hussein.
cutting all of that out.
Why would you cut all that out?
Saddam and the Iraqis.
Them damn Iraqis. Yeah, okay.
Camel fucker.
Oh, yo, that was you this time. That was not me.
I was making a movie reference. It makes it okay.
Okay. So it premiered 1990 on Halloween. My dad was away in Desert Storm. You weren't born yet. Chris was.
I was alive.
This was
couple
another
years old.
Deke cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
really?
they've done everything, haven't they?
So it, like Tim said, the pilot was on Halloween 1990, and then the 4 remaining episodes that aired came out in spring of 91,
Yeah.
and then nobody heard of it ever again.
Well, they
First
never
off,
played it.
do you guys read the comic book? Did anybody ever read the comic book here?
I might have
A
an
couple
issue or
issues
two.
here and there.
Yeah,
I
I
know
have a couple
Alan
issues.
Moore's run is supposed to be very good.
What about the movies? Did
Yes.
anybody see the movies?
Adrienne Barbeau was in the first one,
Yep.
and then the second one was goofy as hell.
Second one had Heather Locklear.
Was it Heather Locklear?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and then there was the TV. I remember the live action.
The live
TV
action
show.
TV show
ran
which-
like 60-some episodes.
Yeah, that had. I think that was like 91 to like 93 or somewhere in there.
But I remember it was on like the USA Network, and then
Yeah.
Sci-Fi ran the reruns, and I watched the living hell out of it. I
That's
loved
right.
the show.
I forgot about that.
So today we're talking about the Swamp Thing live action series. Oh wait, no, we're not.
We're talking about the cartoon that
Well-
ran for 5 episodes, not nearly as long as the more interesting live action series.
I don't know. The live action series, doesn't he just beat up hillbillies? That was it.
That sounds way more interesting than what we watched.
Oh,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
great. I'm the only one that probably liked the show again.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought it was
Once
decent.
again,
It was okay.
it wasn't
Probably
bad.
for complete nostalgia purposes, but still, I thought it was great.
It was definitely better in memory than in It was definitely better through memory than actually go back and watch it. It did not stand the test of time.
Didn't hold up. Well,
I mean,
bit.
we'll get into that.
according to my extensive research, the show is actually based off of the Swamp Thing action figure line released by Kenner.
Actually,
And
Kenner
that-
released it in conjunction.
Well, it says this came out first. Released in 1990.
Well, I remember the action figures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had most of them.
I have a lot.
Well-
I have a
Me
bunch
too.
of them.
That's interesting because you could fucking tell that there were action figures based off this show just by the vehicles.
Oh my!
Oh, the vehicles
fucking
alone,
God.
yeah.
Those
There's a
things
note
always
later on.
existed to sell toys.
Yeah.
They really did. How about that opening theme song for this?
Yeah, let's jump into that.
Yeah, well, could you play us a clip of it, Joe?
Fine. I'll drop it in right here.
Earth really needs you. Arcane is bad for sure. So come on, fight for right. We need you. Swamp Thing. You are amazing. Oh, Swamp Thing.
Yeah. So I turned this on and thought I was watching Major League.
Yeah, right.
Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
That's one weird thing about this show, that it has this weird connection to rock and roll, 60s rock and roll. Because even in the second movie, the second movie starts with CCR, Born on a Bayou.
Yeah. Well.
So then the show continues
Well, that's
with
just thematically appropriate.
Wild Thing. So
Yeah.
it's weird how this series has that weird connection to 60s rock and roll.
I don't even think the comic books did though.
No, but the shows and the movies did.
Yeah, but this is definitely top 5 theme song.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
This is right up there with Hammerman.
Oh God. Could we just stop?
We should have one episode where we don't talk about that dreadful, awful,
Terrible.
piece of shit.
Oh my god, I don't know how to collapse my keyboard.
So the episode starts off with mutant dudes, specifically Weed Killer and Dr. Demo.
Oh, that was the other guy's name? Weed Killer?
Weed Killer,
I did
yeah.
not catch his other
Is
name.
that why you carried around all that weed killing?
Yeah. Yeah, how creative, right? So they go to
He's killing hippies.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
Yeah. Kind of like, Ohio National Guardsman on Kent Snake Cabas. Anyway, so
Did you point out that Dr. Demo is a Cajun snake man?
not yet. He isn't one yet.
He's got scaly skin.
Does he? Excuse my sneeze. I apologize. Out of nowhere. Let's restart that. It came out of nowhere.
Punch you in the fucking face.
Well, just cut it out. Okay. Make a note of the time.
Can we just talk?
it out.
Can we just talk about how Dr. Demo is a Cajun snake man?
Sure, but he's not really
He's not.
a snake.
He's got scaly skin at the beginning.
Did he?
And
Yeah.
dog with that down Bayou accent.
Oh,
down
yeah.
there.
He was a voodoo priest.
He was a voodoo.
And then
He had the little swamp
He had the
thing
swamp
voodoo
thing.
doll.
Yeah.
yeah, it was that
So adorable.
showed you all half of Swamp Thing's powers. Spoiler alert. So they try to catch him with a net. He's a mutant
Yo, and then
bog monster that's one with nature.
once he starts fighting back, the theme song kicks back in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was
That was-
lovely.
That's
Oh,
probably.
of course. Then the Skin Man comes in on the fan boat when this happens.
Why does it that every fucking bad guy from this decade and the decade before that has to sound like Cobra Commander? Why?
Because
Why was the
what's his
need?
name needed
It's
work.
called they were ripping off the popular thing.
They couldn't have something else creative.
Well, did
planned
Kenner
up?
make the G.I. Joes?
Was that Kenner?
No, that was like Hasbro.
Hasbro and Kenner are the same company.
What? Challenge. He's Googling it.
I am googling it.
He's Googling it.
Here
now,
we go.
don't just look up. Now, if it says that Hasbro bought out Kenner, I want a year for that. But I'm saying at this time, they were two different companies.
Okay, we're going with 91. Kenner Products. Let's see. They were separate companies originally. I don't even have the article up, and I can tell you right now they were. Mid 91. Ooh.
When in 91?
Mid 91.
Okay, so it was after Swamp Thing.
So that's
After
fair.
G.I. Joe.
But they were acquired by Tonka right before that.
Was Tonka picked up by Hasbro too?
Yes, they would have been.
Oh wow.
So,
So
How
that's
about
your
that?
that's your toy history fact for this episode.
Well, listen, I remember the action figures. They were amazing.
Oh yeah. They
League
were
bad, but no, they weren't
What?
that bad. They're like they're Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in
Well-
quality.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's interesting because the creature designs were right out of real Ghostbusters.
Tell me about it.
Why do you hate real Ghostbusters?
I hate some of them. I don't hate real Ghostbusters, but it's
You
like it's
shit on it all the time.
I do, don't I? And I had like a Ghostbusters themed birthday party and everything.
Who didn't? Joe.
Yeah, well, he wasn't
He was
alive.
too young.
Yeah.
I love Ghostbusters.
There's that theme again. Let's see what else. So after
The
he
Native American friend.
Oh,
Tomahawk.
we're getting there. Wait, so first off, they catch him in a net, and he totally just kicks their asses immediately. Like picks them up with vine hands and throws them around, and so then after he gets away from the evil bad guy people type thing, Swamp G.I. Joe Tomahawk with the moderately racial slur voice.
Who was the Native American G.I. Joe?
I don't remember his name anymore.
What
Oh, I
the
don't
fuck
know.
was that guy's name?
He had the eagle.
Of course he
The,
did.
the eagle named Freedom. Oh God, what was his name? Let me look up his code name.
Another pause.
Yeah, another pause real
for the
quick.
action.
Native American.
Wait, can we guess before you look it up? Don't say anything, Tim. Chris, what's your guess? What's the Native American G.I. Joe's name?
Firefly.
I'm gonna guess. Fuck, I don't know. What is it?
You don't know?
No.
Double check. Tracker.
That's so good.
Who is the Native American Mortal Kombat character?
That was.
Oh no, sorry, he's
Nightwolf.
Spirit. Spirit Iron Knife.
Spirit Iron Knife.
But then, why did they call him?
Is the wolf's name Tracker?
The wolf's name is Tracker. So that's what it is. So he was G.I. Joe's tracker specialist, Native American, and it said the Tracker on the box of the toy. and I
Wasn't
just kinda
Lawrence
glanced at it.
Taylor a G.I. Joe too?
You mean the football
What?
guy? Yeah, he
LT
was.
a G.I. Joe?
Yeah,
One
he
with
was
Sergeant Slaughter?
touchdown. Sergeant Slaughter. No,
Oh my God! Why was everybody?
he had a
G.I. Joe?
grenade that was shaped like a football. I'm not even shitting
I want to
you.
briefly segue.
Into G.I. Joes?
No,
Please.
because I had the greatest idea for a novelty T-shirt while I was at work today. Venn diagram: the two circles that converge. On one side, it's labeled bass players. On the other side, it's labeled wrestlers. In the middle,
Hulk Hogan?
Sting.
You have to go with what he just said, Hulk Hogan, because Hulk Hogan's the actual. I know, but Sting the guy. I know.
Sting.
But
Tell us what you think, folks.
Yeah, right.
We can be reached at
Hulk Hogan tried for
trying to plug
Metallica,
our social media.
according to him.
You can find us at
You make me sad.
WITA Cartoon on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You could email us at WITACartooncast@gmail.com. And we're also on YouTube somewhere.
We are on YouTube somewhere.
I
If you
don't
go to our
remember.
Facebook page, it links straight to it. Don't worry.
It's all everywhere.
It's everywhere. We're all over the internet.
Just like the shit out of it. Venn diagram. One side is labeled bass players. The other side is...
Oh my God, shut up about the fucking shirt.
I almost fucking cracked up. And you can't do that when you work in a fucking
In a call
place
center.
like that. It's not a call center. Shit.
He's a telemarketer. So, as you all know,
Just because
He
I
is
use a
scum.
telephone to market products. Cutting this shit out.
the best part is every time you say you're cutting this shit out, you don't cut it out. And you leave in the fact that you say you're going to cut this
It
shit
all
out.
depends how I'm feeling on that day.
So,
All right,
anyway.
From now on,
all
I
right,
get this.
so-
Yeah.
So, Racial Slur comes driving up in the Swamp G.I. I'm not even kidding. Like,
Stereotype, man.
stereotype man. Like, honest to God, like then when he talked, like I'm looking at him like, okay, it's early '90s. They just kind of drew him as like a stereotypical Native American kind of dude.
It was rough.
We're okay. And then he spoke, and I went up. I had to pause it and leave the room for a minute, just because I couldn't believe what I just heard. And I realized once again it was the early '90s, and we did this kind of crap apparently.
And then
Did anybody else notice like the guy who did the voice of Swamp Thing kind of sounded like Adam West? I got an Adam West vibe when I was listening.
No, that's
to that.
fine. I mean, if that's what you got from it,
That's
I
what I
really
got.
didn't.
I didn't make any sort of connection to anything, honestly.
I got to
Like
Adam
I was kind
West
of bored.
out of it. I don't know why.
But Swamp G.I. Joe vehicles.
Yeah, the fucking kids show up in the
Wooden
vehicle
go-kart.
that's available at your local KB toy.
Yeah, right. It's like a wooden go kart. It's the swamp buggy
That
It's like-
thing is so fucking over
with a
designed.
cage for gigging frogs on the front of it.
Yeah, that's a super elaborate rig to catch frogs.
I doubt they did not have help from their parents when they filmed that. But were those the kids from Captain Planet? I swear to God, I saw Mati and the other kid when
I
it
called
first
them
went.
knockoff members of the BK Kids Club.
I think
I think they're
What
all
was
the
it?
same children.
Dobert and JT, is that the kid's name?
I
I
Those
didn't
were the
bother to
names.
write it down because I didn't care enough.
But I think they were in the second movie, Revenge of Swamp Thing.
Oh wow! Was
So-
was all the other characters in it too?
Actually,
Uh,
the villain, Doctor,
Dr. Arcane was
Doctor
in
is-
the first two. As
he was
the
in
bad
both
guy, same
movies.
guy.
Not only
Wow.
that, but he was also one of the big villains from the comic book series. That I do remember.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so like they're at least doing that, so we'll give them that.
Yep.
So is that when we cut to Dr. Arcane's lair
Yeah,
Yep.
when I said I have
Castle.
written down cut rate Cobra Commander.
and his evil plan is to take his his henchmen and mutate them.
In the
Yeah.
transducer, which
The
I've written down.
Transducer was just a terrible name.
Yeah, well,
Wait,
the transducer
why
will
don't-
seduce you.
Why do I have
Is
written
it
down?
transjuice?
No, transducer.
Deucer or juicer?
No, it's the transducer,
It
dude.
sounded like juicer.
No, it's the
thought that's
transducer, much like in
terrible.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's why I have that written down, apparently. The
And the
transducer
first
is
one that
seducer.
comes out is Batman.
Yeah, Hey, like, I actually...
Same universe. This is Swamp Thing
That's
is DC,
yeah.
so it's a
Shit,
possibility.
is that where that character comes from in Batman?
Maybe.
So I thought they were already the Unmen at this point, before
Yeah,
they went in.
that's-
I'm like,
Can we talk about how terrible that name is?
yeah, I know. Unmen. Yeah, a pair of scissors will do that. Sure thing. But I said, wait, so they're just normal dudes. Then I have science with 2 exclamation points followed by, hey, look, Man-Bat. And the poor fucking weed killer got an entire centipede as an upper torso. From the
Yeah,
neck
there's
up.
such
Yeah.
weird design.
And then-
It's like a centipede guy and the man bat and then,
And then a snake.
snake
Dr.
dude.
Demo because it's a snake head.
the Cajun
Yeah.
man gets a snake head.
But why
it's
would
not
you
just
sign?
the snake head. It's like the
I
upper
would sign
part
on
of
for
the
that
snake.
shit.
Why
It
would you
was
sign
bad
up for
enough.
this?
Yeah,
Why
like-
would you would want to be if you were in the bayou and this guy came up to me, hey, follow me. I got this transducer for
It's
you
a
to
deucer,
have.
transducer,
Whatever.
you deaf bastard. Anyway, no, and that's what I mean. Like, it's
Join
like,
my army of unmen.
yeah, no.
Transducer, unmen.
You keep saying transducer.
I don't care what the hell it's
I didn't catch the name for it at all, but I know it's available at my local KB
okay,
Toys.
so what happens afterwards? Skin Man finds the 2 kids still gigging frogs on the property,
Yeah, they
get kidnapped
They get
and then-
kidnapped.
but
Locked in the
Man
attic.
Bat's there, and then but Swamp Thing knew instantly. Oh, hey, it's Skin Man. Huh? What are you doing? It's like he doesn't look anything like you just saw him, and apparently have.
Well,
fought him
no, he's
before.
got this. He's looks
this-
exactly the same except for his head.
Yeah, same
But
voice.
he's got
Same.
bats.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the bat guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, then he does look different.
Yeah.
You get the same pants.
He had
Yeah.
the same attire.
Maybe Swamp Thing's just very perceptive of those things.
Sure, he's one with the swamp. Okay.
There you go.
Then he turns into a cactus.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
Cactus
Skin Man
Spike.
hits him.
Maybe now you'll get the point. We'll call that the line of the episode.
Yeah. We'll go with that.
Yeah. Oh God. Anyway, so then the good doctor's stepdaughter, which is actually still the same from the. That's from the second movie too, isn't it?
That's from the second movie, which was played by Heather Locklear, Abigail. As
Oh, shit.
Dr. Arcane called her. Which, anytime they said Abigail, I thought of King Diamond.
So I have here written hot chick. So that was her. Then mutation plantation.
I just thought it was funny that like, it's my stepdad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Giving
then
stepdad's a bad rap.
And then we go into exposition time where the events of the first movie kind of sort of happen, only there's less paramilitary, everybody getting shot and stuff like that.
Yep.
Because I do remember that from the first movie. Because doesn't Doctor
Arcane.
Arcane, thank you. Why can't I remember his name right now?
It's stupid.
It is. Doesn't he like pretend to be another person on the scientific team or something like that, and pulls a mask off, and it turns out it was him the whole time in the first movie?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. That
Dr. Arcane is well, he's paramilitary leader in the first movie, and he's wearing a mask to look like a part of the
Turns
of the
out
doctor's
Dr.
what's his name,
Arcane was
scientific
old
team.
man Jenkins.
Yeah, the whole time. I swear to God, I
would've
remember
got
that.
away with it.
I don't remember.
And then
that.
Swamp
Sure.
Thing's girlfriend gets shot. Yeah, I kind of remember this. And then
We're gonna
like
take
the
a quick break to watch this show, the movie, real quick.
you know we'll be back in 2 hours. We'll just leave the thing running.
And we're back. That's
Yeah.
a great movie.
Bad movie.
No,
Wes
it wasn't-
Craven's worse.
it wasn't
that
his
Wes
worst.
Craven?
Yeah, it was Wes
directed
Craven.
The first movie.
He didn't just produce it.
It wasn't.
he wrote it.
No, the first
Or-
Swamp Thing's
he
actually I
directed
think the strongest of the bunch. Really.
I feel like the second one's the only one that people care about.
Yeah, because they had this awesome cartoon.
I was gonna say because it's so bad it's good.
Anyway, so like he catches fire, jumps into the swamp, and turns into Swamp Thing.
Born on a bayou.
Yeah. And then to catch the kids who the stepdaughter helped escape, they get into the fan boat tank. Like, what drives that thing? Is it the fan or the tank treads? I'm still very confused.
All I know about it is that it's currently available at your local,
Local KB Toys for $12.99. It comes with a Dr. Demento figure.
$4.99 on clearance.
Yeah. If you can find a KB Toy Works, please email us at WTI Cartoon.
No.
No?
I have to cut your shit out. You can email us at witacartooncast@gmail.com.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Or you can add us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. It's at WITA Cartoon for the record.
Oh, I apologize. I'm so sorry.
That's fine.
So Bayou Jack
Bayou Jack.
shows up, and he's got a giant super soaker as his main weapon.
Why?
Yeah,
It's swamp water.
Swamp water?
Yeah.
they live in swamp water. What
Why is this such a dangerous
if I was
thing?
Bayou Jack, I would have been looking at Swamp Thing like, you couldn't just give me an M60 or something like that. Like, you couldn't just give me something
Yeah.
belt fed. I mean, I've got
Give him a
5 bullets on my chest.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
What was that Nintendo game where it was like you were the Outback guy and there were sections where it was on foot? Bayou Billy. Or no, is that this guy? No, Bayou Billy. Do you guys remember that game?
No, I thought maybe you were getting at like, you know.
No, I have no connection at all. But it's just Bayou Billy. I think it was Bayou Billy.
Sure.
Fuck. You guys don't remember that shit.
No.
Damn.
And then
I have
like,
to cut this all out now.
that's great.
It sucks.
Doesn't fall with the flow.
Shit.
So like he like stretches his arm like 30 feet out, picks the girl up, brings her up, and she explains that the monsters are after the children. And then when the kids get cornered with Swamp Thing, Dr. Demento shows
they get
up
turned into the Unboys. Or he's going to turn them into
with his mutation torpedo. His evil laugh sucks ass, by the way. I want to point out, he has like one of the dumbest evil laughs of any of the villains in the cartoons we've seen just yet. Even DeFacely Marmeister had a better laugh. Yeah, I just referenced Hammerman too. I apologize, Chris, but that,
Oh, DeFacely Marmeister.
Piece of shit show.
Don't mind me, I'm just adjusting the knobs.
yeah, if you do that too much, you're gonna go blind. Anyway, so he gives away the whole plan, and Swamp Thing just gives up. Like what the actual fuck?
Gives into Arcane.
You think once he knew the kids were safe, he would just snap everybody's neck?
I'll give in to you, Arcane.
Yeah.
Just don't hurt these boys.
Like, and then he's got Swamp Thing in the transducer again.
Transjuicer?
The
Can you
ju-
juice him?
yeah, sure.
Nice veggie drink for everybody.
Yeah, well, and then like Swamp Thing reaches up and grabs him, and like he honest to God could have just snapped his neck and stopped everything right there.
Oh, you had 5 more episodes to go.
4 more episodes.
4
ago.
more episodes.
But DeFacely Marmeister isn't even in all the other episodes. I'm just gonna get his name wrong on purpose for the rest of this time.
We need to get back to the kids in their sack full of frogs.
Yeah.
I don't want to act like I'm Nostradamus or anything, but as they were crawling through the air vent, I was like, that sack is definitely full of frogs.
I was wondering. Actually, the sack was a mystery to me, and I thought maybe they reused animation from a future episode or something.
No, it's definitely full of frogs.
I mean, I guess you couldn't reuse it if it's for an earlier episode.
Well, unless they made them out of order. But who would do that?
Yeah, not us. So the transducer makes mutants and also drains whatever that stuff from Swamp Thing is. Then,
Yeah, I guess that whatever formula.
And how does Arcane know it's gonna make him fucking immortal?
Well, he was doing that in the second movie. He was trying to become immortal because that's where he used Abigail. He's using her youth to make him immortal.
Oh,
So I guess that was a playoff from the movie into the kid show.
I guess, but like, so they got him in the transducer and they hooked him up and he's starting to zap him and stuff. And then like the G.I. Joe attack squad shows up on the mountainside with, you know, Bayou Jack,
Tomahawk.
and, you know, the Barnaby boys. And
Dobert and JT. They have names, Tim.
Tom, Dick, and Harry. God,
There you
Nobody
go.
knows that but you, Chris.
Yeah. But so no, it's much too dangerous. Don't go ahead. Don't go with us. And he pulls out the weirdest looking fucking crossbow I ever saw in my life.
Yeah,
Did
it
you
just
guys
had like
see that thing?
it was just like an arrow.
No, it was like
Really
a
sure-
like
literally
your arrow,
shaped
like
like-
cursor, a
like
computer cursor.
It was, and it's painted red. I'm like,
That
did
had to
mommy help you make that?
that had to be like,
a
it's
toilet.
too violent. Like that's why they used water. That's why the arrow looks like that. It can't be violent.
You're,
they might
you're
have
right.
changed it.
That had to have been it.
Yeah.
Because, but I want to point out that
Or was it to sell toys? Was
Cell
it
probably both.
probably definitely the
But there
Bayou
were definitely
water?
rocket launcher toys for kids.
I can remember a few 19 and Chris probably remembers this too. The 1980s spring-loaded anything were probably the most hazardous remove your teeth things that we ever had. Spring-loaded missiles on a lot of the late 80s, early 90s
Yeah,
toys.
they had to
Oh,
change the Boba Fett action figure.
Like these
Oh,
things
yeah,
would
'cause-
knock your fucking eye out of its socket and remove a couple teeth in one shot. Like,
Yeah.
I probably still have a couple GI Joe missiles lodged into my prefrontal cortex. Lodged in my prefrontal cortex.
Oh, so
lodged into
that's
my
the red
prefrontal
and yellow in
cortex.
your eyes. That's what it is.
Lodged in my prefrontal cortex. Anyway, and then they foil the super awesome mutants with fucking frogs.
Yep.
Stop these wretched creatures that are running around my laboratory at such a delicate stage in the process.
I'm sorry, I was invoking the Emperor for a minute, wasn't I?
Yeah, a little bit. When did that happen in the show?
Actually, Emperor moment. I have written that down when he gets covered with when they hit him with the acid or whatever he gets hit by. What does he get hit by?
Swamp water?
It was that formula. The formula he was dropped the
yeah.
formula. He
Holy
used, and then
shit.
Yeah, they splash it
fucking-
and he looks like the Emperor.
Yeah.
Tomahawk totally has that arrow crossbow in the toys.
Did you look up the toy? Let me see. Does it launch the arrow? It does
Yeah.
launch the entire arrow. Oh my
Oh,
god.
no wonder. There you go.
So he turns into the Emperor after he gets hit with the lightning, and he's like,
Go, my mutant.
I'm no longer immortal.
yeah. Well, he was never
My
immortal to
youth.
begin with.
My youth.
Yo, this toy line looks pretty cool.
I wrote down getting Wesley Crusher vibes here, and I think it's because the kids came in and saved the day.
Yep.
Yeah, that was probably it. So why didn't he just bust out of the restraints before? Like, before he was weakened by the machine drawing his essence out? Like, why didn't he just, like, there's nobody in danger except for him. Why not just take that opportunity to bust from the restraints and splatter all the bad guys up against the wall?
He was too weak. That's why they had when he was coming out of that chamber.
But he wasn't weak yet.
It's
he
the
just-
transducer.
It'll seduce you. Anyway,
Because they made a toy out of it, obviously.
did they really?
Yep.
Mint in box for your $100.
Oh my god, nice.
There you go. Transducer for
So,
you, Tim.
yeah. So as
Damn it.
so they're helping. There's a big fight and smoke and stuff like that fills the lab and they escape.
They escape the lab, and,
And
then
then-
Tomahawk goes, "We have to get him to water."
After he farted and fell on the ground and turned brown, which I thought
Yep.
was the fun. I had to stop. I was laughing for probably like 5 minutes.
I did not catch that. Right.
Like if you watch it, there actually
But
is
since you
like
said it,
grunty
it's
fart sounds, and he falls to the ground and turns brown.
Oh, here's a transducer that sold for $56.
Oh, what a deal!
All right, so Tomahawk throws him in the water. He becomes Swamp Thing. I think
And
the
then
theme
swamp
song.
him, Swampy. Is
Yeah. Does this theme
Oh,
song play
yeah.
again?
Swamp
No,
him,
but they
Swampy.
keep hinting at. I think they were only allowed to use it twice, and they've wasted it on the fan boat incident.
We need to get back to the line Swamp him, Swampy, because I'm nominating that for line of the episode.
See, you wrote it down too, didn't you?
No, nope.
no, but swamp 'em, Swampy.
No, but good on you for catching it.
Yeah, no problem.
Swamp 'em,
So they
Swampy.
launch the mutation torpedo at everybody,
And
and
then-
then Tomahawk almost fucks it all up by blowing it up and causing the mutation shit to go everywhere.
Yeah, that could have been fucking Return of the Living Dead shit.
Yeah, it could have been.
right?
So then Swamp Thing turns into a giant tree.
Yeah,
and then
tree powers activate.
What can stop mutation powers or a mutation torpedo but another mutant?
Yeah, mutants don't mutate.
Yeah.
And
Actually,
he
they do.
uses his power of turning
So-
into a tree to stop
did
the
anybody
acid
else-
rain.
Anybody else notice that Dr. Demento looks like a snake nutsack when they show his face?
Oh my god.
I'm gonna keep saying Dr. Arcane. Sorry, it looks like a snake. I don't want.
Well, there's Dr. Demo
No,
and there's
Dr.
Dr. Arcane.
yeah.
Were they
Dr. Arcane.
colleagues? Do you think that's why they work together?
Probably.
They call
no,
these-
I need a
No,
voodoo
because
doctor.
voodoo guys always call themselves Doctor this, Doctor
Well,
that.
he was a voodoo doctor.
Yeah.
But did he have his MD?
I doubt it. From
In
Voodoo,
voodoo
U.
doctoring.
I have my
Check-
Voodoo MD from
Chris,
Voodoo
follow
U.
up on that, please.
I will.
Um,
So what you're saying is I should roll under school. Better my education.
so
Gotcha.
they
you
defeat he defeats the evil dude.
Did somebody say Go-Go Gadget Pinky Lasso? Because
No,
I have
that
on-
was funny.
I have on my
There you go.
notes
That's
Go-Go
pretty good.
Go-Go Gadget Pinky
But
Lasso.
so I think the takeaway from this episode though is he was victorious by gaining friendship.
This episode had a very dismal ending, I thought.
Well, I must go on and learn how to become human. You know what?
Like, maybe someday I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Man.
Forever,
Godzilla walk back into the swamp.
forever I'll live in the swamp alone. He's kind of like
Get out of my swamp.
I wish they would
Where's
have
the
ended-
Shrek Swamp Thing crossover?
They should have had Kermit the Frog just play the banjo at the end of the show.
Oh my God, it's not easy being green.
You guys remember that Family Guy cutaway?
Yeah. Hey, can you tell me? Right back the way you came. Oh my God.
Where's the nearest town? Yeah, it's right back the way you came.
So yeah, this was I'm sorry. It wasn't the worst thing.
It was
we've
whatever.
watched.
It was better than Conan.
I don't agree with that, but that's fine.
I
Conan
liked
at
it.
least wasn't like, shilling GI Joe adventure vehicles and like friggin' borderline, racial stereotypes.
From the 10 seconds of eBay research I did just now, the action figures were super cool. Because like
They really were. No,
they
they were.
snapped on the mutations.
Yeah.
So that's
You could have either beginning of the episode guys or mutated guys.
Yeah.
It was I'm not even kidding. Like
Yeah.
I remember all that. That
Yeah,
was
me
good
too.
stuff.
That's
They're on par, like I said, with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toys.
yeah, I agree. Watching this episode, I'm thinking, well, that's in the attic. That's definitely in the attic. That's in the attic too. Why
Mine are
I
all
had
gone.
all this
we
shit?
gotta
What the
clean
fuck?
out Chesko's attic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
we
it's
really
still
should.
up there.
You should have brought them down for them, and we could have played with them while
That
we.
would have been a whole thing.
That'd be great YouTube content.
Yeah, one day we'll do that.
YouTube.com.
So-
I don't remember what the YouTube handle is.
Why don't you write them down so you always have them in front of you?
That's none of your business.
Because you suddenly realize you're a dumbass and just realized it now that
I like to make my own way.
it's a difficult way.
All right, so there were 4 more episodes of this that we're not going to talk about because nobody watched them.
Well, Chris watched them, I'm sure.
Did you watch them?
Probably was a kid. I definitely had a VHS tape of this first episode.
Yeah, it had the thing from
Definitely.
one of the action figures on it. With the art from one of the boxes from one of
Yeah,
the action figures
yeah.
on it.
Yep.
Yeah, I probably had that. I think I had the VHS too.
Well, if either of you guys dig it up, I will gladly take it.
I don't know why.
I'm not giving that to you.
We have to do icebreakers for the training thing I'm at work. And they're like, "What's a fun fact about you?" He's like, "I collect VHS tapes." Do you even have a tape player? I was like, "Yeah, I have three VCRs in my bedroom right now, and they're all ready to go."
Do you have a CRT TV to watch them all on?
Yeah,
I've
I've had that same TV in my bedroom since I was 10 years old.
But that's let's face it. That's a testament to the durability of CRT TVs.
Yeah, you're right.
So, I mean, did it deserve to be a cartoon?
Superheroes always make
Yeah,
good
and it's-
adaptations.
It's DC too, and probably since
And the
this is
environmentalism
right-
bullshit.
this is right after the success of the first Batman movie, so they're probably trying to grasp at some sort of DC thing.
Well, Batman the Animated Series. What year did that start?
92, I think.
Are we
Or
gonna do
90
Batman the Animated Series?
92, 93.
We could.
Let's do we'll just do one of them because there's a lot of them. Why don't we do the good one with Mark Hamill Joker?
That's fine.
The original Batman.
Yeah,
Animated
yeah,
Series,
that
the
one.
good one. So we could we'll cover the first episode of that, and so we'll do a Batman special or DC special,
yeah.
Marvel special.
Maybe. We can
Figure
do
it
that.
out.
Yeah. Moving on. I honestly, I agree. I think it deserved to be a cartoon. Swamp
yeah.
Thing needed his fair shake.
Yeah, and I'm surprised with
The location is cool.
yeah.
All the designs were cool.
Like especially for us at that age,
Yeah.
for kids, that is like, yeah, it was something that I think probably should have.
it's
lasted
like
longer.
Monster Captain Planet.
Yeah.
It really
exactly.
is. Well,
Well,
there's
minus
another
that.
show that's like Monster Captain Planet. I think we
That's-
should cover that one.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
Yeah, like what was it called?
Stop it. Don't try to start a running.
But now I'm surprised with like all this Marvel DC stuff that's coming out now that they didn't try to reboot this stuff yet.
There's talks. I think there's talks of them doing a reboot of the movies at least. of
I
Swamp
hope so
Thing.
because
Like,
I heard the comic books are
but-
great and it's probably one of the better DC characters.
What's his
I
name from
honestly don't
Hellblazer
see it
needs to be in
happening
it, though.
just because of the effects.
Oh, the effects, you think? But they did it in the '80s, so
Yeah, but did it look good or did it look like shit?
Actually, it looked
And
alright
They
for
don't
the
do-
day, for
they
the
don't do
age.
practical
well, the
effects
second
anymore.
one,
so.
the second one looked better than the first one.
Yeah.
The first movie looked like
Actually, I thought the TV
costumes.
show costume because I looked a little bit of a clip of it. I thought where they eliminated half the props and half the prosthetics and stuff.
Yeah, his face was more human head.
For some reason,
Oh,
it looked
yeah,
better. I thought it actually looked more. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like to see a reboot of the movie, definitely, but they would have to have at least what's his name from Hellblazer? God damn it! Why can't I think of
Franklin.
Constantine? Constantine would have to be in it.
You talking about?
John Constantine,
Like the
from
character?
Hellblazer.
Oh, okay.
They
Why?
because he's part. They're together in the universe. Like they talk to each other. They interact in the comic book universe. Did you know that?
Why? No, I haven't.
Same with Batman too.
Yeah.
Batman communicates with. There was a movie with Batman and Swamp Thing and something.
Yeah,
happened.
like Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing was in part of the Injustice series too, where basically he told Aquaman, "Go fuck yourself."
I'm touching the table.
Anyway, he told Swamp Thing basically told Aquaman, "Go fuck yourself. Go ahead, try something, bitch." You know. And Aquaman went, "Oh yeah, good point," and left. Like, but Aquaman's a bitch. Moving on.
Okay.
It's fine.
So is that all we have on Swamp? Anybody else have anything else on Swamp Thing?
Nope. Great show.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna give it a so-so. I'm not gonna say I hated it because I didn't hate it.
3 out of 5 ain't bad.
Yeah, 3 out of 5.
Is it the Meatloaf song?
No, that's 2 out of 3.
Those are the same odds.
So no.
All right, so this is the part of the episode where we like to pitch our own ideas
I
for
actually have something this time.
animated adaptations that would have fit in a sort of lineup that would go right in next to Swamp Thing on your Saturday morning. So,
yes.
who wants to go first?
I'll go first actually this time.
Go ahead, Tim.
How about the animated adventure?
Try
Wow.
that again.
Yeah. How about the animated adventures of Buckaroo Banzai and the Warriors of the
Wow.
Fifth Dimension? Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
That would actually probably be a really cool show.
Yeah,
It would be.
I've never seen that movie.
You've never seen it. It's actually pretty excellently bad. It's got
Yeah.
John Lithgow in it and everything.
John Lithgow,
Who played Buckaroo?
Peter Weller,
Peter Weller and
Whoa,
and
RoboCop.
yeah,
and what's his name?
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they're all. It's actually not a terrible movie.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
it
one of
actually
those
is a
things
terrible
that you're-
movie, but it's a terribly awesome movie.
Yeah.
It's like a fun movie.
It really is fun to watch. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely should check it out.
So what does he do in the animated adventures of Buckaroo Banzai?
What does he? He does everything he does in the movie. So he's a stunt man and he's a scientist and he flies in space and goes through dimension hopping and stuff like that. He does all the stuff that he's famous for because he's Buckaroo Banzai, motherfucker.
Chris, what do you got?
Monster Squad, the animated series.
Oh yeah,
Ooh, I like it.
that'll work.
We're getting better at this, I think.
Yep.
And
Definitely. I think that should have been like we were
That
talking
really
about all
should
these different monsters and stuff this week, and Monster Squad. Come on, it was
You
the
just do like a
Goonies.
Scooby-Doo style?
do it Scooby Doo style every week, different
Oh
monster.
shit! Fucking
Would be
Goonies,
great.
the animated.
Goonies, the animated
That's
series.
not my pitch.
What's your pitch?
My pitch. Check this out. Prince of the Hill, prequel series to King of the Hill, that follows Hank, Dale, Bill, and Boomhauer, but they're Bobby's age, so they're like 10 years old. I
What
think
about
that'd be
Prince of
great.
the Hill instead
wow.
of being Bobby being Hank's age? Or a little younger than Hank, though, but and just starting off his
No.
family with Connie, because they're getting together. I'm shipping that.
No. I want to see young Hank in the 70s or the 60s or whatever. And
Like, not
if the series
dumb
progressed,
Bill.
you have them age in real time so we could see them in high school too.
And like Bill's still the athlete guy that's super popular.
Bill's the cool guy. Yeah,
That
I
is
think-
so
I like
weird.
it.
Like
I
when they
think you
flash
get-
back like that.
I think
in
you'll
the
get a
series.
lot out of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys know this, but Fox tried to target King of the Hill towards little kids. It was originally a part of like a Saturday morning lineup. Like King of the Hill reruns were on Fox Saturday mornings.
That is so dumb.
They even had you can find these online bumpers where King of the Hill talks to the Silver Surfer.
What
Yeah,
No way.
yeah. So
Really?
See,
that's
for,
my pitch.
oh,
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
I felt good about it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna land this bird then.
Yeah, let's land this bird.
All right, that's all we have for Swamp Thing. This has been the Why Is This a Cartoon Cast. Like I said, you can find us online, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at WITA Cartoon. You can also send us an email if you have any memories about Swamp Thing. Be sure to send them in. We'll read them out. It's WITA Cartooncast at gmail.com. And we're also on YouTube somewhere. But for now, I'm Joey.
I'm Tim.
I'm Chris.
And that's it. Thanks a lot, guys. See you
Yep.
later.